Yeah, so 90 esiphezu we are doing a quantum and statistical physics, but on this part we are only looking at the statistical physics part, right? Yeah. So basically, the field thermal physics, it is all dealing with a heat and temperature. Everything about heat, everything about temperature, yeah, everything surrounding concepts such as heat and such as temperature and whatnot. Okay, so basically into ekumele siyazi ukuthi from what we've learned in first year when it comes to thermodynamics, when we have got two objects and then lawo ma-objects they've got different temperatures, meaning ukuthi one object is having a higher temperature than the other one, another one is having a smaller temperature. What happens when you bring them into contact? Temperature after a certain amount of time, you're gonna realize they're gonna have what? Equal temperatures. For example, you take a block that is having 100 degrees Celsius, right, as the temperature, and then you put it in thermal contact with another block, mhlampe 0 degrees Celsius. You only find out that after a certain amount of time, both of them, they've got equal temperatures. So in other ways, this one has lost its temperature to 50 degrees. This one has gained the temperature to 50 degrees. But one thing that we notice is that these two objects, they are what? They've got equal temperatures at the end. That is where we introduce the concept of thermal equilibrium. So basically what happens lapho when you put two objects of different temperatures in thermal contact, heat, it flows from what? It flows from the object of higher temperature to the object of what? Of lower temperature, and until they've got equal temperatures. Yes, so basically, when you put these two in contact, thermal contact, not just contact, it's thermal contact, the heat will flow from the higher object to the lower object. So actually, what is flowing lana? It is the heat. So basically, the energy that flows from a higher object, high temperature object to a lower temperature object, that is the heat that we are talking about. For example, if you take ice out of the fridge, and show inside the fridge, there's a smaller temperature. So the ice has got a temperature of about less than 0 degrees Celsius. And then you take it out of the fridge, what will happen? It will start melting. Yes, why is it melting? It melts in the melt. Because of what? It melts in the ice must keep a fridge in. It's because of the surroundings. So we suffer from a fridge in the temperature encane. You take it out to the outside surroundings which have got a higher temperature. So basically, heat will flow from the surrounding to the ice, causing the ice to become higher temperature and until it melts. So basically, for us to have systems that are in thermal equilibrium, they must be in thermal contact. Thermal contact doesn't really mean they must touch each other like physical. Physical contact and thermal contact is not the same thing, because heat is not only transferred via like physical contact. Heat, it can be transferred what? Via the air. So we can say that we've got three methods of heat transfer. We can just start there and say we've got three methods of heat transfer. So how is energy transferred between two objects? Basically, we can have the first one, which is conduction. So when heat is flowing, or when there is heat transferred through conduction, it simply means utini ama objects there is what? There's some physical contact. Le contact is now injani physical means athinteni ngamanye amazwi. So there is some physical contact between the objects. So when you've got a physical contact between the objects, then we can say the heat transfers when they are lapo is what? Is conduction. So heat is being conducted from a higher temperature object to a lower temperature object. We can have another one. Let me start with irradiation. Irradiation, khona wenza geography angisho. Khona wenza geography njengamanje la waseklasini angisho. Yes, akuthiwa ngibheke lona ngale movie. Oh yeah, lezi eziwuthuzwa ke zenza geography. Kula wenza geography, ayisho siyazi insolation angisho. Incoming solar radiation. Yes, basically the method in which the sun transfers its heat to the earth. So for us, uthi sizwe ukushisa kwelanga is because heat is being radiated from the sun. So by other means, the heat is traveling through the air, or it is traveling through what? Through electromagnetic radiation. So we don't use the term air, rather we say that it is traveling through electromagnetic radiation. So here in this case, heat, or this is heat travels through what? Through electromagnetic radiation. So basically, electromagnetic radiation, says we're talking about a light, right? Because remember, light is made up of electromagnetic waves. So we've got electric fields, we've got magnetic fields in light. So you allow that carry the energy. And you guys already know the energy calculator using the formula E is equals to HF. This is the energy of a single particle of light that is carried through any electromagnetic radiation. So for example, if we take the cooking pot example, say nali pot lila on the stove, and then you've got this is your pot, this is your stove, and then this is your handle. So lana heat is being transferred through conduction from the what? From the stove, because basically pot and stove, they're in contact, physical contact. So basically lana heat yethu is being transferred from the stove towards the pot via conduction. So irradiation sibanayo makunjani. If you take your hand uyiplace nje just a distance away from the pot, but without any physical contact, awuzukuyizwa any heat lapho. You're gonna feel the heat angisho. Yes, because the heat is being radiated from what? From the pot, or you can say from the stove towards you. So lapho there is no need for you to put some physical contact, but still heat is being transferred. So it is being transferred by the electromagnetic radiation. And then when we're talking about the last method of heat transfer, it is known as convection. So the last one, it is convection. How do we define convection? How do we define convection? This is first year definitions, by the way. How do we define a convection? Convection. When the heat transfer? Voice, yeah. Phambili. Oh, okay. Yeah, good examples. If you put a pot, I'm sure pot ohlala laphaya ne base yakho. But if you place your hand on the handle, you still feel the heat angisho. But the heat is coming from the stove. It is because ama particles, they are able to do what? To move and carry energy. So there must be a mass movement here of particles for heat to be convected. Mass movement of particles carrying energy. So see, if when they'll say a heat source here is somewhere here, this is the heat source, and then this is a object that is this is the surface that is getting the heat. So heat yakho, it gets to particles that are at this point, molecules that are at this point. And these molecules, they can be able to do what? They can be able to move or collide with each other. I should remember, if it's a solid, particles, they are always vibrating, according to grade 10 definition of solids. So particles they are vibrating. So as they are vibrating like that, they are doing what? They are transferring the energy from one particle to another. So mass namanya particles here at this point. These particles will receive the energy from this one, and from this one, and from this one, and so forth and so forth. So basically, this is due to these mass vibrations, or you can say mass movements of particles. That is what causes ukuthi nomuntu ongathintalana afile heat. But that depends on material yakho. Material yakho, can it conduct heat? Is it a thermal conductor or is it a thermal insulator? Because kukhona amanye ama-material ukuthi ushisa on one side, but on the other side, you cannot feel any heat. For example, if you take most non-metals, such as wood, if I take wood and then ugodo nje, ngilifake emlilweni ugodo liyasha laphaya, la lingene khona emlilweni, but mina I cannot feel the heat from la ngibambe khona. Sayibona nje leyo nto. It's because the wood is not a material that it has got like low conductivity of heat. It is a thermal insulate. But ma ungathatha insimbi, for example, you place it into fire noma ispoon njengoba kushiwo lapha, leso spoon leso sizoshisa kancane until you feel the heat in your what? In your hand. So the heat that you are receiving when it has been transferred through convection method. So these are the methods in which heat can move from a higher temperature object to a lower temperature object. And until they are in what? Until they are in thermal equilibrium. Now there's one more law, if we are having three objects, an object A, an object B, and an object C. If system A is in equilibrium with system B, and also system B is in equilibrium with system C, then it means system A and C, they are also what? They are also in equilibrium. This is known as the zeroth law of thermodynamics. You still remember it from your high school, as grade 12 or something. But basically, the law lena, it defines basically if sinama object awu 2, mhlambe object yokuqala sonama object awu 3 in total. This book and this board, they are in thermal equilibrium, meaning usane temperature enjani efanayo noma elinganayo. And you also find out that this microphone box is also in thermal equilibrium with this one, means bane temperature efanayo. So automatically this means uthi le exercise and this microphone thing, they are also in what? In thermal equilibrium. That's just like a transitivity of equality esiyenza from basic maths. Uthi mina mangilingana nawe, wena ulingana nalo sisi, mina ngilingana nalo sisi, automatic. So it applies in the same way in thermodynamics. So now umbuzo ke comes to say ukuthi if we place two objects in thermal contact, masikhuluma nge-thermal contact, it simply means ukuthi there is heat transfer via these three methods. Remember, it doesn't imply ukuthi lezinto lezi zithintene like physical. Thermal contact simply means ukuthi heat can be able to move either by conduction, that's physical contact, or by radiation, that is through electromagnetic radiation, or by convection. So any of these methods, as long as one of them is working to move heat from a hot object to a colder object, so it's object they are in what? In thermal contact. So in thermal contact, I confuse nokuthintana, because ukuthintana ku physical. So basically, for example, thina silana in this room, if the room is cold, what will happen? Heat will move from us to the room via electromagnetic radiation, because we are not really in contact, like physical contact with it. So now umbuzo uthi, if we take an object A having 100 degrees Celsius and then we take an object B having a maybe below 0 degrees Celsius, we know vele uthi how to split the temperature ngisho. We just add these two temperatures and we divide by a number of objects, which is ubani? 2. So it means uthi at thermal equilibrium we expect to have ubani? 50 degrees Celsius as the first object, and also this one will also have the temperature of 50 degrees Celsius. But now, what is the amount of time taken for us to reach the stage length? So basically, the amount of time taken for these two objects to reach thermal equilibrium, it is known as the relaxation time. So there is a certain amount of time esibiza ngani nge relaxation time. Let's use its proper symbol. I don't know what you call this symbol. There's a seven talk. Tau, yeah, that's the tau symbol. So lena ini is known as the relaxation time. So a relaxation time is basically the time taken for a system to return to equilibrium after it's being disturbed. Okay, so basically here we can consider a system yethu, it is not a thermal equilibrium. So ngamanye amazwi we can just say it has been disturbed. Like it's not equal, so it's more like equilibrium has been disturbed in a sense. So the time taken for this system, anxious system simply means it is now two or more objects, right? So the time taken for this system to return to equilibrium, it is it is a relaxation time. There are many other examples of how this works and stuff like that, but basically that's how it happens. So now ama-equilibrium ahlukahlukene now. We don't only have thermal equilibrium because we've talked about thermal equilibrium whereby heat is transferred, but you can transfer other physical quantities such as what? Such as volume, such as particles, such as energy. All of that can be transferred from one object to another. So when we are transferring energy in form of heat, we call it heat, basically thermal equilibrium. So basically, when they would say two objects, they are sharing energy such that they will be equal after sharing that energy. Then we say they are in what? In thermal equilibrium. The energy in form of heat. But if the objects, they are sharing a volume, if the objects are sharing a volume, that becomes in a mechanical equilibrium. Okay, that's very realistic. How can we share a volume? Asithini for example, uma ungathatha i-balloon, do you know i-balloon? Yazi balloon angisho. And then ulifuthe-ke i-balloon yakho ligcwale nje likhukhumale impela, yabo? So mase likhukhumele-ke manje i-balloon yakho, and then you put it in the fridge, what do you expect to happen? Take i-balloon vele eligcwele umoya vele likhukhumele impela, ulifake kuphi? Efrijini. What do you expect to happen? Izoshrinka ngisho. Yes. And then you ask yourself ukuthi hayi man, lo moya engiwufakile uyephi manje, because ulifuthile nje wena lafutheka lakhukhumala, but the moment you put it in a low temperature area, it's going to shrink. And then if you take the balloon out of the fridge again, you put it in a hot place, it's going to khukhumala again. Yabo, li-inflate futhi zenzenjani zelikhumi. So basically what happens here is because the volume is being exchanged. So if volume occupied by those molecules, you only depend on the temperature. Just as when you increase the temperature, no matter when you are in a hot area, particles, they start moving so fast in such a way that they are colliding with the walls of a balloon, causing it to do what? To become bigger and bigger. But if you put it in a lower temperature, particles wako, they've got low energy, so they have less collisions, causing any balloon yako to shrink. So basically that exchange in volume that happens results in mechanical equilibrium. But we also have the exchange of particles, which is known as diffusive equilibrium. Basically, when we take, for example, a cup of coffee, to laba abakwazi ukushaya khona ukwazi ukushaya cappuccino la, noma khona uyazi ukuthi cappuccino. Does anyone know how to make cappuccino in this class? Okay, let me teach you yes, consumer science. Basically, when you have got your coffee here, and then you have got your coffee creamer, you put your coffee creamer here. What will happen? Cream what will happen? What do you expect to happen? Let's just say, man, now let me just put a cream on top. What will happen? It will float. And then what will eventually happen? Okay, it will float until when? It will float and like for 2 days, local float. It will end up mixing up together. Yes, that's the whole point. So the particles of the cream and the particles of the coffee, they are doing what? They are mixing with one another. So basically, they are kind of mixing with one another, or we can say this is kind of dissolving into the coffee. So basically, there is an exchange of particles between this and that. There is an exchange of particles. For them to mix up, it's more like there is an exchange of any particles. That is, it diffuse equilibrium. We just say particles, they diffuse into the what? Into the coffee. So it diffuse equilibrium simply means there is an exchange of particles in between those two objects. Yeah, so those are basic concepts that we should know. So basically, temperature, so much. Temperature, we first define it as a vague thing. We say it is just that the degree of hotness or coldness. But Leo definition is to tell someone who doesn't know physics, because basically, so define temperature and that is not a physics definition. That's just a general way of putting things. But now, for us to be able to understand its temperature, for us to end up having a temperature that can be measured to be 50 degrees Celsius. How did we even get there? So we need to use physics equations, we need to use physics techniques. But for that to happen, we need to understand with it, number one thing, masikhuluma ngokuhamba kwe-heat, heat can be able to travel through the air, right? Yeah, practically through the air molecules. Ngamanye amazwi, through the air molecules. So if heat can be able to travel through air molecules, basically it means ukuthi heat can travel through a gas. Siyayibona into kanjani? So heat can travel through a what? Through a gas. So khona ama gases esinawo esiwabiza ngama ideal gases. So ama ideal gases those are the gases that are perfect. Ilawo ma gases esinawo only because we want to have them. In a sense, they are not really realistic. Because remember, for physics, we assume things. We normal, we hypothesize things. Yeah, I don't know if the English is correct, but hypothetical part. But intesinazo is not like in the lab when we are doing experiments. We don't use realistic guesses. We don't use realistic scenarios, such as this thing you see there is no friction. Leonto doesn't exist in real time or in real life, but in a lab you can be able to make such conditions possible. So our ideal guesses, they are more like those perfect guesses. They follow all our guess laws that we make for them. So if you are from the chemistry department, you know our guess laws. About Charles' law, about Boyle's law, about Cayley-Lussac's law, Avogadro's law. Think four of them, as well as the ideal gas law, the final ideal gas law. So those are laws that you know from physical chemistry. With him, ideal gases, all of them, they follow those laws, like specifically wonk, all of them. So such an example of those laws is that the pressure and the temperature are directly proportional. So it means that when you increase the temperature, particles, they do what? They have more collisions. Because remember guys, when you're increasing the temperature, particles, they move more fast. They move faster and faster and fast. And then that causes them to exert a force enkulu on a what? On the surface. For example, take a bottle of water. If you put warm water inside the bottle, bese uyavala, bese uya shake ibottle yakho. Shake. So when you shake that bottle, what happens? What do you expect to happen to the bottle? You shake a bottle of warm water with warm water inside it. Uzwenzakalani leli bottle? Lizoqala ukukhukhumala ngisho senza njani? Liyakhula. Sayibona ngisho. So basically it's because the higher temperature of lama vapor particles, they are hitting on the walls of the bottle. I wish I had a bottle to make a kind of a realistic sense, but you guys should imagine mind. If snap bottle available and then you put a gas that is very, 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 very warm. Because you know I'm sure warm water will release some warm vapor like that gas. So Leo gas, ama particles why? They will hit the walls. Leo gas, ama particles why Leo gas, they will hit the walls more faster. And by definition, we know from classical mechanics, pressure, it is the force per watt per unit area. So how much force is exerted on a certain amount of air. So if lama particles elokho nje eshayisa ibhodlela lakho from all ends, so pa, it is exerting more force in that area. So we can otherwise say in other words, we're experiencing more pressure. So that's why we say pressure and temperature, they are what? They are directly proportional. So all of those are examples of gas laws. There's another law that says if pressure and volume, they are what? They are inversely proportional. So you guys will investigate those laws, but definitely they are there in first year levels. Tina asixelile lapho. We want to be able to model our ideal gas. First of all, we need to understand what are they before we get to the equation. So our ideal gases, I should say, are perfect. They follow all the gas laws according to how we want them. But our real gases, ilo moya lo esiujwayele vele lo moya lo okhona, like the realistic one. For example, njengamanje siphefumula umoya ngisho. Leyo gas that like leyo moya okhona wangempela realistic. Real gas leyo. But our ideal gases, they are ideal. We just model them. We just picture them as perfect gases. So our ideal gases, we picture them as point masses. So we picture them as small particles having masses, small point masses. So basically, ideal cases, we assume that they have no volume. They don't occupy any volume. It's not realistic, and you assume alan. We also assume that ideal gas particles, when they collide with one another, collisions are elastic. Means if we're having a gas inside a certain container, mangathatha container any random container, phakathi kwayo leyo container kunama-gas particles, but they are microscopic. We cannot be able to see them with our own naked eyes. But we assume ukuthi collide lawo ma-particles, noma when they are moving around, so inside that container, once nje sathatha i-container sayivala kanjena, khona umoya ophakathi kwaleyo container. So loyo moya wakhona, ama-particles wakhona, they do what? They collide with one another. So when they collide with one another, when two particles come towards each other, when they collide, ama-collisions wakhona anjani are elastic. Ama-elastic collisions akanjani konje? By grades of the kinetic energy angisho. Yes, so these are the collisions in which the kinetic energy is conserved. So it means that all of the kinetic energy that is coming from this particle will go to that one exactly as it is. There is no losses to the surroundings, no matter to the environment. So we make that assumption within him, we have got conserved kinetic energy. And also these particles, they don't interact with one another. Remember, if you're coming from the chemistry again, so then so chemistry part. Basically, when you're having two particles have got intermolecular forces. Yes. And some particles, we can just call them molecules for simplicity's sake. So mass number molecules are two. They've got intermolecular forces. So they are able to attract each other, no matter they are able to repel each other. So basically, lama particles, for our ideal cases, we assume that they don't have any interaction. They don't have any intermolecular forces. So for example, if we have got a oxygen gas inside a container, let's assume it is an ideal gas. Leo oxygen gas, our particles, why? They don't attract each other, they don't repel each other. Yeah, we assume that there is no interaction, there is no intermolecular force, there is nothing, there is no attraction of particles, no repulsion. But in realistic cases, for example, if we take H2O, ama particles get H2O, anayo intermolecular force angisho. What is the name of the intermolecular force? Hydrogen bonding angisho. Yes. Yeah, so it's an example of saying which ama particles are two. In realistic terms, in real cases, they will always interact no matter what. But for our ideal case, we just model or we picture a gas that doesn't have any interactions between any molecules or particles. Then again, another thing we have got what one thing that I wanted to mention here that is not part of the slide. Particles, they have no volume, yes, no interaction, and all of these gases, they've got the same average kinetic energy. So wonke anani ane kinetic energy efanayo kahle. We are still going to define what is the average kinetic energy. What is the term given to the average kinetic energy? But basically, wonke sisanjani ane kinetic energy njani efanayo, equal kinetic energies, and is conserved, by the way. Whereas real cases wona-ke, real cases akanjani? Real cases qala siqale siqhathanise lokho. Particles, wow, they do have a volume. Real cases, they do have volume. They occupy space. It's a realistic case. I occupy space. For example, mawuphampa umoya inside a balloon, those air molecules, they're able to do what? To occupy a space, causing the balloon to do what? To become bigger in terms of volume. All right. But again, for real cases, they do have intermolecular forces again. They do have intermolecular forces. Let's link a loc na loc. They do have intermolecular forces between them. So they can either attract each other, no matter they can repel each other. And then another thing, the particles of ideal gas, real gas, they can behave as ideal gases, but at only two conditions. High temperature and low pressure. Should say if sifaka temperature eningi kakhulu on particles of a real gas, what will happen? They will become like an ideal gas. So at only higher temperatures, that's when particles become like what? like ideal gases. So it means ukuthi ingakho nginikeza example ukuthi if ungafaka amanzi ashisayo inside the bottle, because we need a higher temperature for us for ama-real gases to act like ama-ideal gases, for them to obey wonke lawo ma-laws that we have learned before. We need what? We need a higher temperature and a low pressure, or a higher temperature or a low pressure, not both conditions at the same time. So at higher temperatures or at low pressures, that's when we can have any real gas behaving as what? As an ideal gas. Sayabona ngisho. Yeah, so that's just the differences in the macroscopic or the bigger picture of our ideal gases. So from this, we already know that we've got an ideal gas law. The ideal gas law, which is a combination of wonke ama-laws awu-3, says that the pressure times the volume is equals to the number of moles times the gas constant times temperature. So lena sibiza ngani lena is the ideal gas law. So this is the equation that is formed from different laws. So khona law ezothi pressure is directly proportional to the temperature. That's one law. There is a formula. There is another one that will say pressure is inversely proportional to the volume. Sakubona lo can show from the equation that they're inversely proportional. Yes. There's another one that will say pressure is directly proportional to the number of moles. There's another one that will say those are the ones that we have actually. So all of these laws must work combined and they make one equation, which is the ideal gas equation. PV is equals to nRT. So now the thing is, let's understand what are moles, what are all of those. So in chemistry, we'll come back to chemistry again. If you don't have chemistry as a nature, because we zonda what uzoyibona nje khona futhi. So when we're talking about moles of a substance, it simply means ukuthi we are having 6.02 times 10 to the power of 23 particles. Particles or molecules, or you can say, yeah, particles or molecules. Let's keep it that way. So basically, maskulma nge 1 mole of a substance. Mangathi I've got 1 mole of oxygen gas. It means uthi nama particles awungayi 6.02 times 10 to the power of 23 particles or molecules of that substance. I'm sure we already know uthi the first thing that we have, the building block of matter is an atom, right? It's just an atom. Then when we combine an atom, we can be able to get what? We can be able to get, what do we get when we combine 2 atoms? A molecule, right? So the combination of 2 atoms becomes a molecule. Now when we combine different molecules now, let's now introduce 2 different molecules, no matter 2 different atoms, what do we get now? It's a compound, right? Khona tissue njengathi life sciences. Oh, bano shit. Compound, right? And then you get those compounds are the ones that we use each and every day and each and every time. So basically the building block of matter is an atom, and then when you combine atoms, you get what? A molecule. When you combine different molecules, no matter different atoms, we get what? A compound, and so on and so forth. So now we're going to look at it at a molecular level. So that's our microscopic level for 10. For example, when I say what is namanzi, we just see one liquid. But in a microscopic view, if you keep on zooming in, you're gonna see any water molecules like H2O, something like this. These are water molecules. So basically, yonke desinayo thina, we know if we zoom it in, we're going to see what? The molecules. But now we are focusing on the gas molecules, not the liquids or the solids. So lama molecules lawa awungaki awu 6.02 times 10 to the power 23. Le number lena is above even in million. Sayibona ngisho. This is above million, right? Like it's a lot of particles. It's like uthatha umhlabathi ngale. And then mawuthatha nje umhlabathi and then you try to count each and every piece. Like there are many, maningi kakhulu. But we say that is 1 mole of what? 1 mole of a substance. So whenever you hear 1 mole of a substance, it means we've got this number of particles in it. So it's nama small particles, maning, it's more than millions and millions and millions. So from that, we can be able to calculate the number of particles if we know the number of moles. Because basically, the number of moles is equals to the number of particles over Na. So Na, siyibiza ngani lena? We call this Avogadro's constant, right? So Avogadro's constant, it is just a number that tells us how many particles are we having in what? In 1 mole. That is why the formula iyakwazi ukusebenza. So if we're having 1 particle in 1 mole, if we're only having 1 mole, mangathi I've got only 1 mole of a substance, it means ukuthi la ku Na I'm going to put ubani 6.02 times 10 to the power 23. It means this N, which is the number of particles in that 1 mole, will be what? 6.02 times 10 to the power 23 particles. So basically the number of moles is related in this way to any to Avogadro's number. So lo N lower is the number of what? Of particles. For example, if I say, simple example, if I say 1 dozen of eggs, 1 dozen of eggs will ngana how many eggs? 12 angisho. So mina mangizoqhamuka kuwena ngithi I've got 1 dozen, it means ngingaki na 12 eggs. So mina mangithi I've got 1 mole, emqondweni wakho you know that the smaller units it is 6.02 times 10 to the power 23 particles. So basically we can say from this equation N is equals to N over Na, whereby this one is a constant. And then N lona, it is telling us the what? The number of particles found in that substance. So from here we can just tweak our equation a bit. Masingayilungisa kancane equation yethu, we can see that here we've got the number of moles as part of the ideal gas equation. So if we substitute the number of moles, this will give me PV is equals to number of particles over Avogadro's constant times the gas constant R times the temperature. So we substituted this equation to say if we know the number of, if we know the ideal gas equation, we've got a number of moles, then we know already the number of moles can be expressed as number of particles over the Avogadro's constant. So we substitute laguno N corner, we put N over Na. And then we can see here, guys, remember guys that these are multiplied terms, so we can just localize Na lone. So this R is a gas constant. What is the gas constant R equals to? 4.5, right? Yeah, so R is a value of the gas constant that is equals to 8.3145. You will derive the unit later. I don't have them here close. What are the units for R? Maybe you can derive them from the equation, of course. There wasn't dimensional analysis. Yeah, but this is the value of the constant. E constant I change. And also the Na is the Avogadro's constant. That tells us within 1 mole has got this amount of particles. So from this we can establish which we have got a ratio of 2 constants. So we've got 1 constant over another constant. So a constant over constant according to differential equations, what does it mean? The constant angisho. So a constant divided by a constant is a constant. So we introduce a new constant K, which will be a ratio of R over bani over Na. This constant K is the ratio of the gas constant nani the Avogadro's constant. And we say is known as a what? The Boltzmann constant. So this one is Boltzmann constant. So a Boltzmann constant, we get it by finding the ratio of the gas constant over the Avogadro's constant. So let's calculate it. This is 8.3145 divided by 6.02 times 10 to the power 23. What is it equal to? 1.23. Okay. Joules per kelvins, whereby kelvins is our temperature. So this is basically what? This is basically the Boltzmann constant. So we can modify our gas equation. Instead of writing OR over Na, sibhalubani K, because that's the constant. So basically we can say that PV is equals to NKT. So PV is equals to NKT. But lo N lona lo N is no longer the same, guys. Remember, guys, the small letter N is the number of moles, whereby the capital letter N is number of particles. Akufani lokho. Masingathi 1 mole akusiyona into okwazi ukuyibona like per se, but masingathi 1 mole, you look at how many particles it consists of. Because mangathi mina 1 dozen, uzocabanga kahle uzowazi kanjani ukuthi sinento engakanani mangathi 1 dozen. Uzobuka ukuthi i-dozen lingana nobani no-12. So similar lapha mangathi 1 mole is not like we're talking about one small particle, no. So N omncane and N omkhulu is not the same. So PV is equals to NKT. So that's our preliminary equation that we have. All right. So with that in mind, this is our modified gas law equation. We have to now zoom in because njengamanje sesithinta u-N omkhulu. U-N omkhulu sithi is the number of particles angisho. And sithi ama-particles anjani? Are-microscopic. Awukwazi ukuwabona with your naked eyes. So we cannot describe them using just classical ways. We have to zoom in at a microscopic level. So now let's look at the microscopic model of the ideal gas particle. So the microscopic model. So a microscopic model, we need it because for us to be able to talk about each and every single individual particle, shouldn't kumele siwazi ukuwabona lawo ma-particles nanoma emaningi. But you cannot do that by our naked eyes. Njengoba ngisho ukuthi mina amanzi wabona nje amanzi wena uphuzi. Awukwazi ukubona uthini phakathi what are the particles there. If I take another liquid that is colorless, let's say any liquid colorless, ungasho ukuthi amanzi uphuzi. Ungazi ukuthi akusiwo amanzi, yabo. So basically we have to zoom in and look at the microscopic model of an ideal gas particle. So the microscopic model of an ideal gas particle. You know the lecturer wants a lot of explanation, so that's why I'm being deep on this. So we're gonna take a single gas molecule and we're gonna enclose it inside a certain vessel. This is a vessel, and then we're gonna place a molecule represented using by a dot. So lena ini it's a single gas particle. Noma it's a single gas molecule, right? It can be nitrogen gas. I just nama gas again. We have got diatomic gases, we have got monoatomic gases. But basically, let's just treat this as a particle before we get to the types of particles that you can have. So now, assumptions that we need to make here, because it's an ideal gas, and just ideal gases, they all follow every assumption that we make, because they are just perfect. You can only develop them in a small environment, such as a lab, a physics lab. So we'll assume that our ideal gas particle has got negligible size. In a size like a very insignificant size. I'm sure we can see a grain of salt. Like a grain of salt. But the particle is even smaller than a grain of salt. It won't be able to occupy that much space. So that's why we have to assume it has got a negligible size. And also the motion, we assume it is in constant motion. It is always moving. Because we know with each and every state of matter, there is always movement. And for our gases, for us to have a gas, some particles they are always moving. Because once our particles warm and they stop moving, they're gonna form a solid. They're gonna solidify and make it as a solid. So if they are moving a lot, it means it's a what? It's a gas indeed. So we assume constant motion. We also assume elastic collisions, and we assume the particles don't interact with one another. We assume there is no intermolecular forces, none whatsoever. Okay, so using such assumptions, we need to now do a couple of derivations and say we need to look at the classical way of defining pressure. So define a pressure as what? Because Lana, what is the whole aim of doing this microscopic model of an ideal gas? We want to try and see can the temperature ever relate to the energy of a particle? Because according to the laws, it says that very. At the end of the day, we're going to define the temperature as the average kinetic energy. But now, before we get there, we want to try and make that relationship ibe. So asiboneni lana ke. So in this scenario, from our ideal gas equation is PV is equal to NKT. From a particle lena, we say to the particle is a volume in a negligible volume. So we'll just not consider it. even the particle size is so small, we won't consider it that much. Thina hlahle we are interested most in the pressure caused by the particles on the walls. So the particle njengoba sithi is in constant motion according to our assumption. It means that this particle is moving or is propagating. So it is moving all around. See, assume iyodwa. We just look at its path alone. So sikhohlwa ngamanye ama-particles. So it is moving around in all directions and it is hitting the walls. So now, thina-ke, what do we want to find here? We want to find the pressure on the particle. So for us to do that, we need to define pressure. What is pressure konje? Force per bani per unit area. So we know that pressure is equals to force per unit area. So in motion, we know that this is in constant random motion, but last is to consider only motion along the x-axis. So we're gonna just consider motion along the x-axis. The force that we're talking about here, the force experienced by the piston lane, normal the lead closing the surface. Leo force Leo, we're just gonna take in the horizontal component here. So we're gonna just say the force X over the area. So this is the force experienced by the piston from the particle. Actually, the particle is move. So it's will be loki shayisa la with piston. So you look at it, kancane as it moves. So basically, this is the force on the piston. So this is the force on this is the pressure on the piston given by the force exerted over the area there. So by virtue of for us to find the pressure exerted on the particle, because we know that according to Newton's third law, we know when two objects are interacting, we have got a force na a reaction reaction force. As the particle is pushing onto the lead, onto this piston, piston is piston. So as the particle is pushing on the piston and pushing on the piston and pushing on the piston, now it is experiencing that little bit of force. And that force per its unit area is going to give us the pressure. So mangathi mina ngiyashayisa lento lena, yebo ngiyayishayisa, is experiencing force, but nami I'm also experiencing a force mangishayisa. That's why mangizoyishayisa kanzima nami ngizenza njani? Ngizozubuhlungu. That is just how we model in Newton's third law. So essentially, this particle is also experiencing a force from the piston. So it means it's also going to have any area nakhona. Force per unit area as well, which is going to be the pressure. So you can just say this implies the pressure on the molecule or the pressure on this single gas particle will be given by what? Negative Fx over bani over the area. The same area, of course, because we're talking about the area covered, just the small area that is covered by this particle. So this is negative Fx over A. Lower negative lower simply means that now our force, it is opposite. I'm sure it must be the same magnitude. So Fx angesho, but in the opposite direction. So this is the force, this is the pressure exerted on the molecule by the lead. Okay, so we use the X component. We're just gonna use the X component. So now let's introduce another feature of this piston system and say that this is of length L. So the maximum horizontal length is what? Is L. Should say size of the piston ubani L. So masithi thina i-particle yakho isihambe kakhulu along the x-axis. Isuyihamba distance ewubani? Ewu-L. Because that's the biggest value. Unless if i-particle yakho yenza njani, ya penetrate iphume out of the particle. But if that's not the case, that's the maximum distance traveled along the what? The x-axis. So as it is traveling, we need to know the value we're gonna have velocity there. And we are only considering the velocity along the x-axis. So miles traveler from here, how can we define velocity in basic terms? What is velocity? Displacement over time, right? So basically, velocity will be given by the displacement over time. In this case, our displacement is what? It is ubani? L. Like from here to here, that's our displacement. It is that change in L. But now, asithi nayi isuka la, it hits there, that's L, and then it goes back again, right? Mase sifuna ukuthola i-average velocity. The average displacement moved from here to there and back. What is it? It is displacement kawu-2 lolo, L lona kawu-2 angisho, because it traveled from one end to another and came back. Sayibona ngisho? Yes. Okay, yeah. In a classical way, no. Let's talk about distance, not displacement. Yeah. Good way. No correct lab. All right. So here, let's do the speed, not the velocity, right? This is the speed, right? So this is the speed along the x-axis. So speed is distance over time, not displacement. So basically, lana we're looking for the average speed, right? As it traveled from here and came back. Because masothi displacement is always here. Yeah, so say couple cool. It distance here, because speed is distance over time, not displacement over time. So speed as a scalar quantity will be the distance traveled, which will be L and L again. So it's L plus L angisho. Bawubani u2L. Because we are considering ukuthi i-particle yethu isuke la yahamba yabe yashayisa. That's why we are looking for that force, which as it is coming back, what are we going to have then? And then this is over the time. Let's just call the time delta t. Lo delta t lona, it is the time taken for this to go and come back. Sayibona ngisho. That's why it's the time taken for it to travel a distance of ubani u2L. So here, why did we need this? It is because we can actually define force using this quantity. We can link in the force and the speed to an extent. How can we link force and speed, like the scalar values of force and speed? So force is equals to mass times acceleration. Force is equals to mass times acceleration. That's Newton's second law. And here we're just looking at the horizontal one here. So I'm just going to take the horizontal acceleration. How do we further link acceleration to the velocity, the magnitude of the velocity, which is the speed? So it's the change in what? Change in V angisho. Over bani, over change in time. But now ngalena it is negative, right? So when you substitute it, let's not forget the negative. It is for Uti, this is the force experienced by the particle. So here we can see Uti Vele, we already have Ubani, we already have UVX. And then as Nobani, it's not delta Vx, more like the change, right? So now let's modify this equation in color before we link it to that one and say Uti the pressure exerted on the molecule will be equals to, instead of writing force, I will write ubani, the mass, right, of the molecule. Because remember, the molecule will treat it as a what? As a point mass. I just say I'm ideal gases, so I treat it as any, I'm a point masses. So they've got, it's seen this man. So M times delta Vx over delta T. It's negative there. And then this is over area. So let's talk about defining these quantities with delta Vx and also defining with delta T and later on defining area. We're going to just do them sequentially. We're going to start here. Let's start from delta Vx and go to delta T and let's go to area. Yeah, I think that will be better. So if we start with delta Vx, this is the change in velocity. So this is the change in velocity. And the change in velocity, we know that the change in velocity delta Vx is given by what? The final, or it's more like the change in speed, but it's still the same. Minus the what? The initial. Final minus initial. Right. So lana as this collides with the piston, if velocity will it change in terms of the magnitude? If velocity magnitude is a change. Why not? Yes. So basically for this to be an elastic collision with the wall, kinetic energy must be conserved. It must not lose any energy as it collides with the wall. Yabo. So basically we know ukuthi if it collides with the wall with Vx, then when it comes back again izoshayisa with ubani, with the same speed Vx. So the velocity is not changing there because the kinetic energy is what? Is conserved. Khumbula kinetic energy it depends on the velocity. And you say in half mv squared? Yes. So if the velocity doesn't change, what happens? The kinetic energy will be conserved as well. Like if the velocity doesn't change. So in this case, if velocity in terms of magnitude is not changing, but yini eshintshayo i-direction ye-velocity. Sayibona ngisho, is the direction of the velocity. So lana-ke, let's treat final velocity wethu as this velocity going towards the piston. Sayibona ngisho. So you now assign your values. Either you assign left as negative or right as positive. All of it in this formula nanjani will give you the valid thing. Sayibona ngisho. So let's assign what? Left as positive. Right as positive. Which one? Okay, east is positive angisho. So as it travels ngalena, we will give it a positive magnitude of velocity. So if final velocity, let's just say motion yethu siqala as it goes ngalena. So if final velocity yethu, let's just take the positive value here. Final velocity is Vx magnitude yayo, but it is positive because it is the velocity when it was going back. But maya ngalena, it was going with the same magnitude of Vx angisho, same speed indeed, but in direction it was towards the left. So that's a negative direction. So this positive Vx minus minus, low minus minus will give us what? Plus Vx. So the delta Vx there will be able to give us what? Will be able to give us 2Vx. So the change in velocity at ubani or 2Vx. Akusenu zero lana for change in velocity. Let's be very careful. It's not zero. If velocity comes with its direction into consideration. Yes, the speed is not changing. The magnitude of the velocity I change on. But because of the direction, we have a change in velocity. So lana, we're gonna say where there is delta Vx in our equation, we now say this is negative m into 2 times Vx over delta t over a. Yeah. So right is positive, left is negative. Yeah, it's arbitrary. Mathematical. Okay, if you take left to be positive, then this will be negative, this one will be positive. Minus Vx will give us minus 2Vx in this case. Okay, as well in convention that we used the textbook, what is it? It's minus. Okay, you should see they took that direction as negative. Alright, it's fine. Oh yeah, just for a link, let's link it with this force. The force is the negative because it's the force exerted to the particle in that direction. Should say from indlela defining ngayo ngalena, should say athatha negative value ngalena. Aswazi ukushintsha amasesi la. So if you want us to continue with positive, should say ngalena sosebenzisa ubani positive force because kumele correspond. Because khumbula ukuthi le force lesifake la sithe negative is the force exerted by the piston on the molecule, and the molecule ingalena ngisho. So a piston it is kind of pushing it that direction. So that direction is negative according to indlela esenze ngayo. Because ayashintsha lama direction lawo, they are arbitrary, you can choose your own direction. But ngendlela esikhethe ngayo ngalena to make our force to be negative in that direction, it means that even when the velocity is going that direction, it must also be what? Be negative. Sayabona ngisho. Yeah, on the molecule. I'm sure the molecule must iyona ehamba iyangalena. So yeah. I'm sure a molecule is shayisa piston ngalena. So it's kind of applying a force that direction. Yeah, on the molecule. So masi reverse ibanjani iba negative force ethu. Meaning ukuthi seyibheke which direction, that other direction. So it means even our velocity vector, since it's facing that direction, this one must be what? Must be negative. This one must be positive. So it says I want to define a final velocity yakho and initial velocity yakho kanjani. But at the end of the day, you must have that So let's just use the convention ye textbook and just say the final velocity, it is the one that's having the negative and the initial one having ubani, the positive, having negative 2Vx. So mafuna usenze positive 2Vx lana, I would have to use this expression. Then the one applied by the one on the piston must be negative then. You just reverse some signs. But at least ama vectors wakho kube ne correspondence. Kube correspondence there. Okay, so that's 2Vx. O negative, asho kuno negative already lana. So lo negative and negative will eventually get us back to ubani, to positive. Now let's look at our time. Can we define our time using any of these quantities? Singayidefine kanjani? Yeah, we can make it a subtract the formula from this definition of the average speed. So basically, put delta t wethu here is equals to bani 2L over Vx. So I'm just going to substitute there. You see this is gonna be 2Vx once in m is equals to 2Vx over 2L over delta t. Now you just 2L over Vx njani. Okay. Now we just do the little maths here. What little maths can we do learn? Lo 2 no 2 cancel ngisho. Yeah. So this 2 and 2 can cancel out. Lo Vx denominator can go up, go Vx times Vx ngisho. So no Vx squared and then over bani over lo L lon. But lo L lon denominator can just join with the what? With this L. Sayibona ngisho. Yeah, so le maths engizoyenza yashesha sithi m into let's not put a bracket anymore. Vx squared over Al. Sayibona ngisho. To simplify kanjani. Then now from here again now we just further simplify by recognizing the area of the piston times the length. What does that give us? I-volume angisho. So sengizobhala ngithi pressure is equals to mv squared x over volume. I just ask guys, the area times length is volume, right? You know that this area, this like area of the piston. Actually, the piston is three-dimensional. So the area of the piston, the area of this region of the piston, that surface of the piston, the area times this length will give us a volume of this entire thing. So this is P is equals to mvx squared. So this is the pressure exerted on one single molecule, one single gas molecule. Alright, let's do some bit of mathematical analysis by looking at labo Vx lab. Because we're having Vx squared there, because it's saying that pressure is directly proportional to what? To Vx squared. Let's make a mathematical deduction from this formula. So our mathematical deductions that we can make, number one, pressure is directly proportional to what? To V squared x. Sayibona ngisho leyo nto. Yeah, sayonsi lo phina lo ba directly proportional. But now thing is Vx squared, Vx squared, like the square of this horizontal velocity, it is comprising of two terms. I just say master square, it simply means to be multiplied ngaki two terms. So because multiply ama terms out 2, what does that mean? It means we have to look at lama terms lawo asuke endaweni efanayo yini. Asuke labo Vx laba, how did we end up having Vx squared? Omunye Vx now we derived it from the what? From the delta Vx angisho. The other Vx, where did we get it? From the delta T. So labo Vx labo, yes, we are referring to the same velocity, but they did not come from the same time. So we have to split them into two. So we can say that pressure is directly proportional to one of the Vx, and also pressure is still directly proportional to another Vx. But it's kind of directly proportional to the Vx squared. Masebahlangene bonke. Senze kanjena in a better way. Kanje. So we know that one of the Vx is coming from the what? From the change in time. Because tina sitheni, the change in time is equals to 2L over bani over Vx. It is the one that is inversely proportional to the time. So this one, it comes from the change in time. So this is the horizontal velocity from the change in time. So mass city, OP is directly proportional to OVX engine. What does it mean here? It means ukuthi angisho lana okay asesenzini mesancane delta T is equals to 2L over Vx angisho. And thina sithini pressure is directly proportional to bani? To Vx. What does it mean between pressure and time? Inversely proportional. Sayibona maths enzekayo lana. Yeah, quick maths. Delta T is inversely proportional to bani? To Vx in this equation. But Vx is what? Is directly proportional to P. So by virtue P is what? Is inversely proportional to, is what? Let's say, is it inverse no matter direct? Inversely proportional to bani? To time. In this way, it's inversely proportional to time. So if collisions wakho with the wall take longer time, it means there will be less pressure. But if collisions wakho they take shorter time, there will be more pressure. Shorter time usho ukuthini kahle kahle? Into iyashesha noma ithatha isikhathi eside. Shorter time usho ukuthini? Into iyashesha ngisho. Yes. So shorter time means something is quick. Shoot lento le ilokhu iyashayisa, iyahamba iyashesha. But if we say that it's taking longer time, it means uthini? Iyashayisa kancane, goes and takes longer time and comes back, i-particle yakhe ishayise futhi kancane kancane nje ilokhu ishayisile. Sayibona ngisho. But now at this point, when you say that pressure and delta T they are inversely proportional, shoot thina ke if we take less time, means ukuthi i-particle yethu ihamba faster ngisho, then it means we're going to have what? More pressure. And it makes sense because i-particle yakho izobe ilokhu collide within shorter time. So if sithi ama-collision ayenzeka fast kanjena, what is the right time? The number of collisions per second, how do we define that? Is the frequency. So it means if we have got smaller time, it means we're having what? More frequent collisions, yeah, no a higher frequency. So this Vx ichaza lokho is kind of a link between the time and the pressure, according to this equation. So by other ways, you can say low Vx lona is coming from the change in time, and it tells us the more frequent collisions we have, meaning ama collisions wakayashesha. Maningi ama collisions per unit time because athatha isikhathi esincane ngisho. Yeah. Vele mazothatha isikhathi esincane guys, imagine ukusuka la ulokhu uza ngapha. Mazothatha isikhathi esincane it means uyashesha ngisho. So mulokhu ushesha, there is higher frequency, more frequent collisions. So there is more pressure experienced by the what? By the surface. So this change in time means greater frequency. If we've got greater frequency, will imply greater pressure. So if we've got greater frequency, implies greater pressure. So basically, that change in time, if the molecule is moving faster, first thing, if the molecule is moving faster, we're gonna have a higher frequency. That's the first deduction. Number two, if we're gonna have a higher frequency, we're gonna have a what? Greater pressure. So if there's two ezisukayo lana, but in so first one, if it's moving faster, means Vx is quick. It means we're gonna have what? We're gonna have a higher frequency. And if it's having higher frequency, it's gonna cause greater pressure on the surface. Because it's related to pressure in this context. And then this other Vx, from the change in V angisho, Vx that we were able to get from here. Because we got Vx from ngale the time and Vx from ngalen, and we combined them to make Vx squared. We multiplied them. So this Vx OSB is coming from the change in velocity. So this is the change in velocity. So this one, it means if the molecule is moving faster, each collision will become more violent and exert more pressure. It's kind of implying the same thing namanje. It's implying the but now we are looking in the context of velocity, not frequency. Ngalena besibukela frequency because we were looking at the time angisho, determining with how many collisions per unit time. But now because this is because of change in velocity, it means if the molecule is moving faster speed, no matter faster velocity. So a faster speed will imply greater pressure, a more violent collisions. So it implies greater pressure. Same explanation jengaleya. Greater pressure or more violent collisions. So this is the interpretation. So these are two mathematical deductions that we can make from the factors E pressure and Vx that are directly proportional. There's not really a need to compare P and V for now. We are only focusing on these two. So from there, we can now take this microscopic model, because with a microscopic model, besibuka i-particle enjani eyodwa. Guys, it's a 1 mole. 1 mole of a gas, it consists of how many particles? 6.023. Zining, like maningi kakhulu lama particles. It's more than millions and billions that are found in only a small mole. So basically, into esizoyenza ke manje, for this to be realistic, kumele ke manje senze njani? Si expand le pressure lena on one particle, si multiply with the number of what? Of the or the number of particles, so that's senza njani? Sizokwazi ukuthola ukuthi kahle i-total yawo lama particles a-exert pressure engakanani, a-experience pressure engakanani. Siyayibona ngisho. So we're just gonna now take this expression and now let's say we expand. If we have n particles, if we have got n particles, so manje sesinama particles amaningi, inamba yawo lawo ma particles ubani? U-n. Ngaba u10, ngaba u-million, ngaba u-Avogadro's number, ngaba depends, but manje sesinama particles kanjani? Amaningi. So now it means our expression now, we're gonna do what? We're gonna expand it. But before we do that, we need to let me just shift low kancane. Before we do that, let's just modify expression yethu for the last time. Ngiyathembisa nje last time. Then if we cross multiply with the volume, this is PV is equals to bani? mvx squared, right? So it means the pressure times the volume of one particle is given by ubani? mvx squared. But manje sesinama particles kanjani? Awu n maningi, like n particles. I'm sure this is more like a statistical approach. We would say when we've got one thing and manje sifuna ukuthi zibe ziningi, we multiply by the total number of those particles. That's why this is statistical physics. So if we have n particles, we're now going to say that to find UPV, like the total PV yakhona, but now we're gonna call it the average PV because now they are many. Angisho, yeah. But see, but this is very the pressure for one particle. Expression yayo sikiphelele nje. What we okay, yeah. We chose one angisho Yeah, i-particle one nenye. For us to have an average, we must have a sum of them. That is why lana, actually lana qala, we just made UPV by multiply UV ngalen. Kwaba UPV is equals to bani? MVX squared. So lo PV lona, le product lena UPV is for one gas molecule angisho. Is equals to bani? MVX squared for one gas molecule. But now, when we want to sum them up, remember with the hours of fana like all of them, angisho. That is why we need to find at least the most average of a product. That is why when we add up our PV weight, we're gonna need to add them up and try to find, we're gonna must find your average length. We are adding up those that are having the same velocity Vx. I should say we are assuming one the velocity efanayo ubani uVx. Yeah, the collision will be the same. So we are not taking all the particles because realistically awenze ukuthi abe wonke enza njalo. But we are taking the average of those that are exhibiting Leo behavior. So lana lo PV lona is just for one particle njengoba njalo, because once such average so sesiwahlanganisa wonke once. Okay, yeah, by mathematics yeah. Izoba? Yeah, for every particle. I'm sure a collision with the wall angisho, not collisions with a like yeah, they don't interact, like it's collision with the wall. So any particle yeah we wall. And each and every one have got the same PV is equals to mvx squared. Like most of them have got the same PV is equals to mvx squared. That is why it's the average yawo. The average yawo is those that are exhibiting low behavior. That's why it's lana when we come we now say PV. Where is this? We now say PV average. Since we say average because now we're having more particles. We are now looking at the average pressure, assuming we see they are occupying a constant volume. It's in expression here. It is the mass of that particular particle, the mass M1, 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 M2, and whatnot. But most of the times we assume so M weight, it is the same mass. We are looking at our particles having in a size of an eye. Usually, we just consider M alone, ganjeni, and say we're having OM V1x squared. This is the velocity of one particle. And then plus another one M V2x squared. Silokho siwa-edile njalo M V3x squared until azabe ungayi azabe N M Vnx squared. So we add them. Silokho siwa-edile nje azabe ubani azabe N omkhulu njalo. This is like particle number N, lo N lomkhulu. So basically, these are having the same magnitude of the velocity, but the velocity is ukufana because they are not moving in the same direction at any instance of time. That's why kumele sifake lama subscript to say it's no V1, or V2, or V3 uyalena. Singavele sithi Vx ngoba siyazi ukuthi the velocity is the same. No. It's not really the same because some of them enye izobe yangalena, enye yangalena, enye yangalena, but all of them they're in the same boat. They are hitting at different times, they are going to different places. So the subscripts are important. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna keep. Okay, so now here's a statement. If the number of molecules is large, collision will be frequent. So basically, if we've got more number of moles, it means when collisions are more frequent. Because lapha, a collision, imagine one molecule, collide by one. Iyabuya, collide futhi. Imagine mawungaba u2. Enye collide, enye iyahamba. Yabo. Imagine if there are three, just keep on having the same picture. Imagine the sound. Say three manje. Enye iyashaya, enye iyahamba, enye iyashaya, enye iyahamba, iyabuya, enye iyashaya. Bese abe u10 njalo njalo. And thina sisawungaki inside the gas. There, at least we know it's one mole has got 6.023 times 10 to the power 23. Maningi is millions of them. So ngendlela ashayisa ngayo, it's like every time khona particle yenza njani eshaya on the walls of the what of the piston or on the walls of the container. So basically each and every time we know we are just having what? We are just having every particle beating. In such a way ukuthi gcina kungasabonakali kahle kahle. Gcina sekuyisound eyi1. Ingesazwakala ukuthi it's like one particle per time. Because imagine izinto eziwu-million. Okay, mangashayisa izandla zami kanjeni ziwu2, ziyezwakala ngisho izandla eziwu2. Lezo zandla zaba100 zishaya endaweni eyi1, zilokho zishaya esinye siyangalena esinye siyangalena. Isound yakho ebanjani iba more unified angisho. Imagine ke izinto eziwu-million zonke. Enye iyangale phezulu, enye iyashayisa, enye iyashayisa njalo njalo. It kind of becomes kind of something continuous. Sayibona ngisho. Such that the average pressure yet will kind of become the normal pressure because into yethu enjani say continuous. Ayisashayi nje like 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. We've got like millions of particles. We've got like millions of particles ashaya. So that's more like the pressure is now continuous because we're having a large number of particles. So the average pressure will just become our normal pressure for large, okay, let's just say for n goes towards infinity. So if the number of particles is so large, it means the average pressure tends to become our pressure. Yeah. So basically, we're gonna drop the average. We're just gonna call it P because in a realistic sense, each and every gas molecule, each and every gas substance in our particles are maning kakhulu. So we're just gonna consider this one and not the average of them. So from there, we can now say UPV from here. Now we want to link our equations one more time. UPV wethu so uthola kanjani? Nje sithi UPV is equals to mvx squared for one particular ngisho. So since since UPV is equals to mvx squared for one gas molecule. So maso maning, we just need to multiply by UN, the number of particles. If I would 10, we're just gonna multiply UPV by 10 because we're interested in this product PV. So here I'm just going to say that PV will be equals to N times M times Vx squared. So this is for N gas molecules. So once now we have got many of them in our container. Container to man say nan particles amaning. We have to multiply this ratio PV by UN to show within nama particles amaning to calculate more like the total pressure. Now this is similar because we already know that these are ideal gases. We model them such as ideal gases. They follow the ideal gas law, which we have modified, which is about PV is equals to bani NKT. This is the modified form of the law. So law PV is equals to NKT is the same as the ratio PV is equals to bani N times mvx squared. Ungasebenzisi le for one gas molecule because this one it considers the number of molecules. So you must use this one because it is considering we have n number of molecules. So now you can equate these two because wonke alingana no PV ofanayo. We can now say therefore Nm Vx squared is equals to NKT. Then from here we can see that the N will cancel out on both sides. And then when you cancel out the N from both sides, we can say that we'll remain with Ubani, we'll remain with UM Vx squared is equals to Bani to KT. Now, thing is, remember, our whole aim here was to relate temperature and kinetic energy because we often hear about temperature is the average, measure of the average kinetic energy. But now let's say is there a link between temperature and kinetic energy? Because this link already so far, pressure can be expressed using velocity and mass and the number of particles. So now the second link that you're gonna do here is to link this with kinetic energy. Can we be able to obtain kinetic energy from the expression? What is it? How can we do that? Multiply by half on both sides. So we know half m Vx squared is equals to half KT. Why did we multiply by half on both sides? Because mathematically it's correct to multiply on both sides by one constant, right? So it's because we know that kinetic energy is actually half of mVx squared. So from here we can just say this is our what? This is our kinetic energy. So I'm just gonna say that this is kinetic energy is equals to half KT. Now it is related because the kinetic energy you can get it by saying half times the Boltzmann constant times any times the temperature. And from Lana we have to just know the kinetic energy we say that it is translational kinetic energy. For what reason do we say that this is a translational kinetic energy? It is because basically, okay, let me just say pressure or kinetic energy is equals to half times Bani times m Vx squared average is equals to half KT. Okay, why am I writing in this way? I'm sure you already know that kinetic energy is half mv squared. But now remember we have added all the particles. So we are looking at their average velocity along the x-axis. Low x low v is equals to half KT. But now if we consider one thing, our particles are they only moving along the x-axis? No, they are not restricted because a bottle like that piston is an open container. So we open container, a particle has got freedom to move along the x, along the y, along the what? The z axis. So it has got 3 pathways, no matter 3 dimensions in which it can move. So it's not always we're going to have one velocity which is along the x-axis. We are also going to have another velocity along the y-axis, another velocity along the z-axis. Although not indicated line, we're now going to indicate it to say this has a freedom to move also along the y-axis. And it has also a freedom to move along the z-axis. I don't know how to draw 3D, but now along the z-axis. I'm sure this is a bottle-like structure. Senza kanjena. Na ibhodlela wafethu 3D leli nalwala elincane lona phansi. Miniature bottle. Okay, now ibhotla ngisho. So our gas particles are inside a 3-dimensional space. So a piston is almost like in a volume. So it can move kanjena, that is along the z-axis arbitrarily. It can move kanjena along the x or kanjena along the y. So it is having 3 dimensions. So basically, this half kt squared, half kt, esimtholile, it only applies along the x-axis. That's why it's falubani vx, because it derivation yet we used to ban velocity along the x-axis. So now to consider the other ones, now we're gonna say if a particle has 3 dimensions, or it can move in 3 dimensions, means ingakwazi ukumove along the z, along the x, along the y. That is when dimensions, we call them degrees of freedom. Okay, so if a particle has got 3 degrees of freedom, it means it can move in 3 different dimensions freely. So then we can say the total kinetic energy yet because this one is only along the x-axis. Ayikwazi ukuba i-total. Mhlahle ngicela ukususa lokho kwamanje. Ayikwazi ukuba i-total length. We only consider Vx along the what? The x-axis. So if we consider the other ones, for us to find the total translational kinetic energy, we have to also consider along the y sinani. So we have got Vx, we have got ubani, Vy, we also have got ubani, Vz. So then masifika lana sitheni, we are only considering the kinetic energy along the what? The x-axis. That is why sibe no half mvx, because our derivation we're using x velocity alone, and it was equal to bani half kt. Now the question is, what if you are having 3 dimensions? So it is free to move like this, or like that. So having 3 degrees of freedom. So mauna 3 degrees of freedom, it means you can now say you are having 3 velocities, Vx, Vy, nobani, no Vz. That is why we now say to find our total translational kinetic energy, we're gonna say half times the mass, but our velocity is gonna be an average of all the velocities depending on nama dimensions amangaki. Because our degrees of freedom is just the amount of dimensions that this molecule can move. So ingamuva kanjena, kanjena, or kanjena, it's just 3 dimensions. Are you getting the sense? So we can just compress the C as half m V average yawo wonke lawa njalo, V average squared kanje lo V lo umele ubani Vx, Vy no Vz konke bo 3 is equals to bani. How do we now find it now? Sithe if sina along the x-axis nobani is equals to half kt yangisho. So basically the kinetic energy along the x-axis, the contribution yayo is equals to half kt. That is the quadratic factor that we have. And then if we're going to have along the y-axis, it's also going to be the same thing because it's derivation. So derivation efanayo, but we're going to use ubani Vy. So half of Vy squared will also be equal to ubani half kt. Implying also that for the 3rd degree of freedom, half of Vz squared will also be equal to ubani half kt as well. So basically we can say these are all contributions of the kinetic energy. And manje singathini half kt. Asho manje singathi half kt lana plus half kt plus half kt, because our molecule is moving in 3 dimensions, in 3 degrees of freedom. So this will be half kt plus half kt plus half kt. Half kt times 3 kahle kahle. Sayibona ngisho, times 3 degrees of freedom. So this will give us ubani 3/2 kt. So this is how you find the kinetic energy, the total translational kinetic energy. You consider all the 3 degrees of freedom. But now, generally, you can just write it as a general law. Generalize. But generally, you can write it as, okay, no, still gonna get that, don't worry. Now, we say our translational kinetic energy is equals to half mv average squared, which is equals to bani 3/2 kt. So now let me just drop the side leg kinetic energy and try to